Oh, yes, welcome everyone. Hello. Steven, didn't know you'd make it out tonight. Great to see ya. No way, I see DiCaprio in the audience, and yes, I am 22, which is in your preferred dating age range, but no, I'm not interested, thank you. It simply wouldn't be the beginning of an award show without some terrible humor. And speaking of humor, I can't believe that it rhymes with Amy Schumer, because that woman is terrible. But if you've never been to our lovely award show before, welcome to the second annual Oscars. If you're unaware of the origins of this event, let me take you all the way back to 2021. Award show season was upon us, and to my shock and horror, The Invisible Man was not nominated for a single Oscar. And I thus fell into a rabbit hole of all of the amazing horror movies that have never been given recognition by the Academy. Yes, The Silence of the Lambs won all the way back in, I think, 1991. We got a little love with Get Out being nominated in 2017, but pray tell why Hereditary, The Witch, Midsommar, Us, none of those kinds of movies have been given a shred of recognition. A movie like The Invisible Man could have been nominated for any of the technical categories or for the acting, and yet it was crickets. Also at the Oscars, it's all about campaigning. It's a political event. Only the Academy members are allowed to vote. So that means that the best cinema in the world is determined by a bunch of crusty, old, rich white people. Thus, the Oscars was born. It's enough of that. I virtually gathered together a huge group of my favorite content creating friends, and they present each category. And then you, the audience, gets to vote on the winners. And we do have quite a few very unique categories in comparison to other award shows. For instance, a couple of those that you'll get to see today are Best Deaths and Best Horror Sequel. In fact, we will be kicking off this very special event with one of the most near and dear categories to horror fans. Here to present Best Visual Effects is Justin from Movie Watch Daily.
Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Justin. This is Pete from Movie Watch Daily and The Dead Couch. Kylie has kindly invited me to present the award for Best Visual Effects. Not to be confused with special or makeup effects, in filmmaking, visual effects is the creation or manipulation of any on-screen imagery that does not physically exist in real life. Visual effects allow filmmakers to create environments, objects, creatures, and even people that would otherwise be impractical or impossible to film in the context of a live-action shot. Our nominees today managed to create scenes and experiences that immerse you in the film and pull you into a world that would seem impossible on the page, but were brought to life by talented visual effects artists, and they impressed us all with their innovation to create scenes that hold up against even the most scrutinizing eyes. This year's nominees are Antlers, Malignant, Black Friday, Halloween Kills, and the Fear Street trilogy. And the award goes to Pete. Thank you. Thanks, buddy. You're doing a good job. You look great, by the way. With over 50% of the vote and one of the biggest surprises in horror of last year, the award goes to James Wan's Malignant. Kylie, thank you so much for having me and Pete the Boston on to present the award for Best Visual Effects. I hope to see you guys all in many, many Oscars to come. Stay weird. Remember to always be yourself, and I will see you next time. That wasn't supposed to happen. Pete, help! Back to you, Kylie.
Whoa there, I hope you find your head. While he looks for his noggin, here's your reminder that every single channel that will be featured today is listed down below, so you can go subscribe and show them some love. Up next, we're heading all the way across the pond to the UK with Seb and Leanne from Jump Scared. You would also recognize Seb as Suki Pie on TikTok and Leanne from the official Scream Queen YouTube channel. She also goes by the Only Scream Queen on Instagram. Seb and Leanne will be presenting the category for Best Costumes.
Hi, my name's Leanne.
And I'm Seb.
And we are
Jump Scared.
We have been asked to read out the nominations and winner for the category at the Oscars, Best Costume Design. It means a lot to me to be able to read out, especially this category, Best Costume Design, because I love a good costume in a horror movie. I also just want to thank Kylie for, coming up with this idea and bringing horror creators and horror fans together. It's just such a great idea. And it's just so lovely to see everyone team up together and make this amazing thing happen. So shall we read out the nominations?
First, you need to show your lovely envelope that you've made.
Oh yes, my lovely, I wanted a real envelope, but I couldn't find one, so I just folded up some piece of paper. Shall we go? I'll start. So the first nomination is Last Night in Soho, directed by Edgar Wright.
The second nomination is Wrong Turn, directed by Mike P. Nelson.
The third nomination is The Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It, directed by Michael Shea.
The fourth nomination is Fear Street, 1666, directed by Lee Janiak.
The fifth nomination is Nightmare Alley, directed by Guillermo del Toro. Are you ready?
Yeah, sorry, he's looking like he belongs in a horror movie right now.
Should have named him Cujo. Can we have a drum roll from Todd to announce
Come
the
here,
winner?
buddy.
Okay, and the winner is...
Last Night in Soho.
Yay! Amazing! Thank you everyone who took the time to vote, and thank you for watching. Back to you, Kylie.
Toodles.
Bye.
Thanks so much. It was a well-deserved win for Last Night in Soho. And did you see their new puppy Todd? Oh, the next category is a favorite for my fellow film snobs. So how fitting that one of my closest friends, a fellow film student and filmmaker, Tiago from Royal Horror, will be presenting Best Cinematography.
Hello everyone, Tiago from Royal Horror here. Thank you, Kylie, for inviting me over for the second time to the Horror Oscars Awards. I'm so honored to be part of this project, and I'm so proud to be part of this horror community. I'm so happy and excited to present my category to the Horror Oscars Awards from 2021. Now, my category is the horror movie with the best cinematography from 2021. Now, before we start to get into the nominees, what is cinematography in a horror film? Briefly talking, cinematography is like a superpower. It's a superpower that allows directors and producers to produce their horror film. It's thanks to the cinematography that the scripts are bring into life. It's thanks to the cinematography that the audience can communicate with the film, maybe because of the shots that are used, audio or lighting. Cinematography allows the audience to develop different kind of emotions, and that's the beauty of cinematography. Now, which film from 2021 had the best cinematography? Let's find out. The nominees are Paranormal Activity Next of Kin, directed by William Eubank. The cinematography in Paranormal Activity Next of Kin is very impressive because it knows how to combine the found footage world with the actual real world. It uses many close-up shots to the main character so that the audience can feel tense because of what's happening behind her. And when it comes to the lighting, the cinematography really knows how to use different kind of blues, grays and whites with different kind of yellows, orange and red combined or separate so that the audience can feel different kind of emotions. Candyman, directed by Nia Da Costa. One of the main things about the cinematography from Candyman is the audiography. It really has detail with different kind of sounds when it comes to our antagonist or our main character. Most of the time the audience is not seeing what our antagonist is doing, but because of the audiography and the color palette, the audience can feel a sense of what's happening on the shot. Last Night in Soho, directed by Edgar Wright. The cinematography in this film is very unique, original and different, and the main reason is because this film takes place during two different decades, the 1960s and the 2020s. One of the main things that stands out about the cinematography in Last Night in Soho is the color palette, the color scheme, and the main reason is because it combines many different kind of colors like blue, pinks and reds, being red the main color in this film because it communicates to the audience two different kind of emotions, which are fear and passion. Wrong Turn, directed by Mike P. Nelson. The cinematography in Wrong Turn involves many wild shots that make the landscape another character in this horror film. As the director of photography mentioned, they were really impressed on how most of the lighting used in this horror film came from natural daylight, which made this film more realistic and scarier. The Night House, directed by Dave B. Bruckner. The cinematography in The Night House is very different because this film and the cinematography, they know how to work with the shadows. The audience can feel and can see things that the character cannot see and cannot feel. It also works very well with the color scheme because it knows how to work with red colors, blue colors and dark colors. It also worked with the landscape because of the different kind of shots. It really knows how to combine close shots and wide shots, being the close shots related to the main character and the wide shots being more related to the landscape where our character and our shadow is. Those films are amazing nominees for this category, but obviously because of you, one of those films won this category, and we received around 420 votes, which is beautiful, and I have the result here. So, the horror movie with the best cinematography in 2021 is Last Night in Soho, directed by Edgar Wright. I really hope you enjoyed the rest of the horror awards. We all will see you at the next year's editions. Have a great end of the week and we will see you soon. Bye bye.
I'm starting to smell a sweep for Last Night in Soho, but stay posted, because up next to present Best Horror Sequel is Roger from Slasher Pepper.
Thank you all so much for having me once again on the Oscars. I'm honestly surprised that I'm still allowed to be here and I'm not completely blacklisted, because I've roasted Kylie twice now. She used to really dislike Jason Goes to Hell, so naturally I was like, let's react to the movie. What I didn't tell her was that at the end I would confront her with Adam Marks, the director of Jason Goes to Hell. Eventually, midway through our commentary, she actually liked the film, so that was my job well done. So I'll be hosting the Best Sequel segment, and the nominees are A Quiet Place 2, Halloween Kills, Don't Breathe 2, The Forever Purge, and The Conjuring. Now I'm a bit biased because I love Don't Breathe 2. That's my favorite sequel from that year. I haven't seen all of them. I haven't seen all of this list either, but I interviewed all of these people from Don't Breathe 2, so I guess you can see why I'm a bit biased now. Anyways, the winner is A Quiet Place 2. Applause, everyone. I haven't seen it. The only two of these I've seen is Halloween Kills and Don't Breathe 2, so I gotta check the other ones out, especially A Quiet Place 2, because apparently it's really good. So congrats to A Quiet Place yet again. And again, thank you all for having me, and enjoy the rest of the Oscars.
Thanks so much to Roger, but moving on, not everything being released is a reboot or a sequel. We got a ton of amazing, super original horror last year, including The Manor and Hellbender, but unfortunately those were not nominated today. Up next with one of my favorite categories is Anna from What a Ghoul Wants to present the Best Original Screenplay.
Hello everyone, I hope you all are enjoying this year's Oscars so far. My name is Anna and I'm from What a Ghoul Wants here on YouTube, and I have the absolute pleasure of announcing the winner for Best Original Screenplay. In a genre with no shortage of remakes, reboots, sequels, and requels, original stories can be a much needed breath of fresh air. The following movies have been nominated because they each brought something unique and exciting to the horror genre this past year. So, the nominees for Best Original Screenplay are The Night House, written by Ben Collins and Luke Piotrowski; Malignant, written by James Wan, Ingrid Bisu, and Akela Cooper; Last Night in Soho, written by Edgar Wright and Christy Wilson Cairns; In the Earth, written by Ben Wheatley; and Titane, written by Julia Ducournau. And the winner is Last Night in Soho! Edgar Wright and Kirsty Wilson Cairns really did a fantastic job with the writing of this movie, so this is a very well-deserved win. I'd like to thank everybody who voted for the Oscars this year. It wouldn't be possible without you. And of course, a special thanks to Kylie for putting on the show. It really means a lot to horror fans that movies we love are getting recognition that they deserve. So this is such an amazing award show, and I'm so happy to be a part of it. So back to you, Kylie.
Thank you for the kind words, Anna, and on that note, be sure to give this video a like if you'd like to see it again next year. Also, if you haven't seen those movies yet, I highly recommend all of them. But if you're more of a classic horror fan, I think you'll be very excited by this next category. Here to present Best Deaths are Ken and Ashley Sledge from Sledgehammer Horror.
Thank you for joining us here at the second annual Oscars. I am Ken Sledge.
And I'm Ashley Sledge.
We are Sledgehammer Horror.
So let's talk horror.
Today we are so honored to be presenting the award for one of our favorite subjects, the best kills in a horror movie in 2021.
So we want to thank you, Haunted Hippie, for inviting us to be a part of this and for all the hard work and effort that you've put into this. Also, to all the other presenters, thank you guys for putting in your hard work and effort as well.
We couldn't do it without any of you guys. Haunted Hippie, thank you. Every presenter, thank you. You are all so amazing. So without any further ado, the nominees for best kills in a horror movie in 2021 are
Halloween Kills,
Old,
Malignant,
Willy's Wonderland,
Fear Street 1978,
and the winner is Halloween Kills. Michael definitely did not hold back, and we want to thank you guys so much for not only supporting this community, but for being a part of the O-Scares for the second year in a row. We can't wait to see you for many more to come. If you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe to all the presenters. Show your love and support to all of them. Until next time, guys, keep talking horror.
Stay who you are.
And we'll see you guys soon.
We love a fun horror-specific category, and honestly, I was advocating for Halloween Kills. Now on to some more mainstream and prestigious categories. We have Noah from Hamburgers and Horror to present Best Actor.
Welcome everyone, I'm Noah Hook, and today I'll be presenting the nominees for Best Actor. 2021 brought a variety of great performances, and these boys delivered some of the best gasps, laughs, tears, and screams, so let's take a moment to appreciate their work. The nominees for Best Actor are Yahya Abdul-Mateen II from Candyman. Abdul Mateen had no small task, as his character Anthony is slowly consumed with and by the legend of Cabrini Green's most famed killer. He's able to retell and expand the story for the modern day, but still hone in on what made the Candyman a horror icon in the first place. Lonnie Chavis from The Boy Behind the Door. Chavis may be the youngest nominee, starring as Bobby at only 11 years old, but he proves to have skill beyond his years with a tear-jerking performance. From the very moment he is kidnapped, Bobby starts fighting, not only for himself, but for his best friend as well. Hilmar Snæur Guðnason from Lamb. This Icelandic actor showed us up close the dangers of adopting a half-man, half-sheep baby, and he does so in a surprisingly soft and vulnerable way. His performance helps ground this really absurd concept as he works through his grief to accept this unexpected gift. Vincent Linden from Titane. Linden's character is a bizarre, tragic firefighter who teeters between sorrow and rage over the loss of his son. His relationship with Adrian is so delusional and complex, and you truly never know what this disco-dancing, steroid-pumping sad sack is gonna do next. Cillian Murphy from A Quiet Place Part 2. Murphy's performance as the rugged survivalist Emmett provided an interesting foil for the Abbott family. It's his reluctant journey with Reagan that fleshes out this apocalyptic world and also reminds us that there's always something worth fighting for. And now the moment you've all been waiting for. The winner of Best Actor in the second annual Oscars is... Cillian Murphy! Well done, Mr. Murphy. I hope to see you in more horror movies soon. Congratulations to you and all of the wonderful nominees this evening. I just noticed that 3 of these characters are grieving fathers. Maybe Hollywood was having some daddy issues in 2021. Kylie, thank you for having me, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of the Oscars.
Cheers to all the daddy issues, everyone. Am I right, Leo? Yeah, that's what I thought. Also, welcome Noah. This was his first year presenting in the Oscars, and we gotta love those campy effects he threw in. Up next, presenting this category for the second year in a row, is Jennifer Vega to give us Best Actress.
Hi everyone, I hope you guys are enjoying the Oscars this time around. Thank you again, Kylie from Haunted Hippie, for inviting me to present one of my favorite categories, the Best Actress category. And what makes this one specifically so great is that it's Best Actress in a horror movie. All of these actresses who are nominated deserve the spotlight, and they all definitely made these movies that they were in even better and more frightening, to say the least. I'm very excited to present these nominees and let you guys know who your winner is for Best Actress in a 2021 horror movie. And the nominees are Rebecca Hall, The Night House.
I can't hear you.
Sadie Sink, Fear Street, 1978. Anya Taylor-Joy, Last Night in Soho.
Well, get out while you can, girl. You're better than this.
I don't think I am.
Of course you are. Just look in the mirror.
What if I don't want to?
Agathe Roussel, Titane. and Melanie Laurent from Oxygen. All of these did an incredible job last year in their respected horror movies, and I'm very excited to present the winner that you all chose. And your winner for Best Actress in a 2021 horror movie is Anya Taylor-Joy from Last Night in Soho. Thank you guys so much for voting and participating in this year's Oscars, and I hope you guys continue to have an awesome night.
It's obviously a well-deserved win for Anya Taylor-Joy, but what a difficult choice you all had to make voting between those amazing women. But now, before we get on to the best film of the year, we do have to recognize some doozies. The movies that, if you haven't seen them yet, maybe save your time and money. It is with great pleasure that I welcome Michael from Video Creep to present the worst horror movie of 2021.
First and foremost, big love to Kylie here on Haunted Hippie for letting me come in to straight up just talk some smack about some of these awful movies. You see, 2021 was an awful year, and select films were like, you know what, we can be bad too. And these 5 especially held it down in that regard, so much so that they made this list. So let's not waste any time and get right into these nominees. Candyman. Is it possible to look at something so beautiful that you forget that it doesn't have substance? Yes, 1000%. Look at fireworks or like really lame hot girls. Candyman felt like it was gonna give us this like razor sharp, super witty commentary that would make us all gasp and rethink our own actions, make our behaviors change as a society, on top of having just like fucking Candyman around, no less. But instead, audiences were treated to a visual spectacle with literally nothing to hold on to. So thanks a lot, Candyman. Love those big fake tits of yours. There's someone inside your house. The Stranger Things guys get the cojones together to make their own feature-length film. Honestly, that's enough to get me to grab a beer and sit my ass down, just to fall right the fuck asleep. What an unremarkable attempt to be frightening, with unbelievable characters in a bad way, and a plot as flat as a board. Sure, maybe there's someone in my house, but if this is on the screen, I don't want to be home. Old. Man, that trailer for Old was really something, wasn't it? And I guess that was the Shyamalan twist. Cause boy, this movie sucking, I did not see coming. It's not so much that the film was boring, but it was tiring. I was exhausted by the end of this thing. It was like M. Night Shyamalan decided to do like drugs, and every idea that he thought of gets to go in the movie. I mean, credit to M. Night Shyamalan for not pulling punches. It's just, when the punches are directed at audiences, you just come across as a crackhead with way too much access. And the fatigue of it all at the end of the film does really get, no pun intended, old. The Unholy. Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Whew, what a stud. So talented and so incredibly underwhelming in this film. God, the dialogue that they gave this man. Someone go and make like a cringe compilation. Like that needs to, someone has work ahead of them. Sam Raimi, why? You're so good at so many things. Did you just like want to show us that you can suck too? Because we saw Spider-Man 3, man. You're overcompensating. Spiral. The not Saw movie that is a Saw movie, but not really. God, this movie felt like a bunch of people in a room trying to make the next Seven. But then there was just one dude that was like, oh guys, ooh, we're making a Saw film. What a disjointed film. It lacks no commitment and any genuine flash. It's just one set and location after the other one. And at the end of it all, it's just plain forgettable. You want to talk about like things behind the curtains and things that the public don't know? This is why Will Smith was upset. But of all these stinkers, only one can be the smelliest. And without dilly-dallying or taking up any more time, your winner for worst film of 2021 goes to Old. Oh man, way to be just a little bit worse than all the other bad movies. Boy, you were standing shoulder to shoulder, but you just tippy-toed up now, didn't ya? It's weird to give you congratulations, Old, because like, You know, this is the category. And speaking of, it's important for me to mention that, yeah, your film may have won, but again, in this category, you're all winners.
It was a surprisingly narrow vote for that category, and we love the roasts as always. You can rest assured that you will always have a laugh on Michael's channel. But it's time to get serious, because now is the moment we've all been waiting for. The best horror movie of 2021. Here are the nominees. Up first, we have the French film Tatane, directed by Julia Ducournau. This French roller coaster of a film follows a woman as she discovers what family truly means, and it resonated with a huge audience across the globe. Our next nominee is Malignant, directed by James Wan. In the first act, Wan leads us off track with another seemingly basic paranormal story. Things go off the rails in this colorful and brutal telling of a woman learning the truth about her past. Our next nominee would be the Fear Street trilogy, directed by Lee Janiak. This 3-movie summer event took us through 3 different time periods, exploring womanhood and queerness while also delivering on a wild slasher extravaganza. Second to last would be Last Night in Soho, directed by Edgar Wright. This psychedelic ghost story explores the disturbing underbelly of the entertainment industry in 1960s London, with the story being carried by the emotional performances of the lead actresses. And finally, our last nominee for Best Horror Movie of 2021 would be Halloween Kills, directed by David Gordon Green. The most brutal Halloween movie to date, this explores the mob mentality of a town drenched in terror. Disturbingly relevant to life in America, this movie was deeply personal for many audience members. But they can't all be winners, and that's why we've asked you to choose for us. And the movie that you have chosen to christen as the best horror movie of 2021 with a majority vote of 42% is Halloween Kills. Yes, let's give it up, everybody! Honestly, I'm surprised. I thought Last Night in Soho was gonna sweep the same way that Invisible Man did last year, but no, the people have spoken. And thus concludes the second annual Oscars. What did you think of the show? I'm thinking maybe next year we have a short horror film category. That way I can also highlight some of the work of my friends, because some of these people are making short horror films this year. And what? So am I, and you can find the GoFundMe to donate to the project linked right down below. Oh, as I said though, several people who presented today are filmmakers as well, so be sure to show their channels some support. They're all linked down below. Of course, feel free to let us know how you voted in the comments section, what movies deserved their win, which movies did not. We want to know all your thoughts and opinions. Also, a huge thank you to my patrons. Without them funding my channel, this would not be possible. So a huge shout out to these people. If you'd like to become a member as well, then my Patreon is linked down below in the description as well. Big kisses to you all. Mwah, mwah. Oh, wow, what a great show, everybody. Yeah, good night, have a good one. No, seriously, Leo, I'm so serious, I'm not interested. Okay, have a good one. Bye.